Hi everyone, this is Jamesia. Thanks for joining today for our Q&A and program overview session on the Next Generation for Biosecurity Competition. So we're also joined today with Taylor, our Deputy Coordinator. Luis is moderating the Q&A session, so he's online and he's the coordinator for our Biosafety and Biosecurity Working Group. And then also Kathleen and Haley, who are both representatives from NTI's Bio. So before we get started, on behalf of NextGen, I would like to thank NTI for partnering with us for the second annual biosecurity competition. We are very excited for our members to have the opportunity to be thought leaders in biosecurity and to make more sustainable commitments to GHSA, and to also have a platform to share their work at the ministerial meeting. So the purpose of this webinar today is to provide both an overview of the competition and to also allow those interested the opportunity to ask any questions that you may have. So with that said, throughout the webinar, if you do have any questions, please post your questions on the YouTube chat box, and we will fill all questions at the end of the presentation. So let's go ahead and get started. So we'll start first with the competition goals. So for this year's competition, we are looking to facilitate relationships between next generation leaders interested in biosecurity and biosafety across the country and regions in accordance to the Global Health Security Agenda targets on biosafety and biosecurity, and also linking public health and biosecurity authorities. We also want to enhance the country and regional capabilities to achieve the biosecurity and biosafety targets within Global Health Security Agenda and the World Health Organization joint external evaluations. Additionally, we are looking to inform emerging and established members of the broader global health security community on the significant biological risk posed by advances in technology. We're looking to improve regional and cross-regional collaboration in the biosecurity and biosafety fields and promote a global cadre of multisectoral professionals within the Next Generation Global Health Security Network that are dedicated to reducing catastrophic biological risk and enhancing biosafety and biosecurity. And then lastly, we want to provide additional avenues for knowledge transfer to the next generation biosafety and biosecurity professionals through mentorship and potential engagement with health security experts in the field. So this year's program will really focus on two things. First being developing training and networking opportunities for professionals of all levels to develop an interest and proficiency in biosafety and biosecurity fields. And then next, to foster opportunities for educational outreach to raise public awareness around the importance of biosafety and biosecurity. So the submission requirements for this year, each team will be required to submit a one-page resume or CV for each team participant. Each team can be comprised of up to 3 individuals, and at least 1/3 of those team members must be a member of the Next Generation Global Health Security Network. Additionally, each team will provide a detailed budget sheet detailing with line item breakdowns how your team will spend up to $15,000 to implement the project. Next, you will have a 1,500 to 2,000 word proposal submission that outlines how your team will work within the NextGen network to develop either the training and networking opportunities for professionals at all levels, to develop this interest and proficiency in biosafety and biosecurity, and or opportunities for an educational outreach project to raise public awareness around the importance of the fields of biosafety and biosecurity. Participants are highly encouraged to collaborate on these submissions with partners from other institutions and or across sectors within countries and or partners from other countries. We highly encourage you to also include collaborators to help build cross-sectoral discussions on biosecurity, and this is going to be a key factor for successful proposals. Please note that all submissions must be emailed to nti-bio@nti.org by 11:59 p.m. on August the 31st of this year. So these are the expectations for the proposal. All proposals must be submitted in English as a single PDF. The single PDF should include the proposal, the budget sheet, and the resumes and CVs for each team member. So please do not submit multiple attachments. We want everything in one single PDF. Your proposals involving the development of training or networking opportunities for early to mid-career professionals may build on programs that are already existing. Two things to note: successful proposals should include specific mechanisms for engaging and involving at least one or more biosafety and biosecurity expert in the execution of the proposal. Any experts that you include in the proposal should be contacted and confirmed for participation before your submission. For proposals for public outreach and education, they should incorporate and build on existing biosafety and biosecurity best practices, standards, and/or models for policy and legislation to produce a public outreach program that's targeted at either high school and university age students, young professionals, and/or policymakers. Proposals are encouraged to include designed and/or multimedia tools or other creative and engaging methods for public outreach and education. Any citations, image captions, and footnotes do not count towards the final word count of the proposal, but please make sure that any vital information that you have in your proposal is not included in the footnotes. You want to make sure that that is an actual part of the proposal. Let's take a look at the timeline next. So we had the call for proposals and we launched our competition on July the 10th. If anyone is still looking for a team member, we have on our website as well as the NTI website, which we'll share at the very end, where you can sign up on a form to start looking for other team members. Please remember that at least 1/3 of the team members must be part of the NextGen network. If you're not already a member of NextGen, it's very easy to complete an application by visiting the NextGen website. Today, we're hosting the program overview webinar and Q&A session. And the next due date or next thing as far as the timeline is on August 31st. We'll have the deadline for submissions. As I mentioned before, all proposals should be submitted as a single PDF file, 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time on August the 31st to the nti-bio@nti.org email address. On October the 1st, we, both NTI and NextGen, will announce the winners, and those winners will be posted on our websites, and then we will contact the winning teams for next steps. And then November 5th and 6th, the winning team will have the opportunity to attend the Global Health Security Agenda Ministerial meeting in Bali, Indonesia, where the members will have an opportunity to present their proposal at the ministerial meeting. So I'm going to close really briefly with some friendly reminders. So if you are looking for team members, on the NextGen website, we have a place where you can link directly to the form to input your information. Please remember that it is your responsibility to find your team members. So once you complete the form, there's another link where you can start to look for other people that are actually looking for team members. At least 1/3 of each team should have at least one member, or at least 1/3 of the teams should have members in the Next Generation Global Health Security Network. Of course, if you are interested in joining NextGen, you can visit our website and complete the application there. The deadlines for submission is 11:59 p.m. on August the 31st. And then if you have any questions regarding the competition, you can email nti-bio@nti.org. Now, before I open for any questions from those watching the webinar, I do want to offer the others on the webinar. So Haley or Kathleen or Taylor, if you guys have any additional points that you'd like to offer before we open up for questions.
Over us over here at NTI, I don't think we have anything else to cover. Jamesia, you did a great job. We're really excited to hear all the proposals for everyone that's listening.
Awesome.
Yeah, same. I wish everybody who is submitting an abstract good luck, and encourage everybody to really think about how to be innovative with their approach, because it isn't a lot of money. Thanks.
Okay, great. So we'll move along to the Q&A portion. So as I mentioned before, if you do have questions, please type them in the chat box. We'll give you plenty of time to chat. We do have a couple of questions now, so I'll go ahead and cover those, and I'll just go ahead and start typing if you do have any additional questions. So the first question is about the slide deck being made available. So we will email the slide deck out to our membership, and then we can also post it on our website as well, but it will be made available for everyone. And then you can also at any time come back to our YouTube channel to review the overview as well as this question and answer section. The next question, does completing the form to find a team commit you to a team?
We can answer that over here. So no, it does not commit you to any team. We just wanted to give people an opportunity to see who else is interested in the competition but doesn't have a team, and be able to find partners from different corners of the globe that they might not be traditionally familiar with, or trying to find team members with a specific area of interest that they would like to have that expertise on their team. But no, it doesn't. But that information will be publicly available via the link on the call to proposals on both the NextGen and the NTI websites, if that makes sense.
Thanks. Next question. I would like to know, would there be only one winning team or many? So for this year's competition, we will have one winning team.
And just to be clear, the winning team, all 3 team members will be invited to come to the Ministerial in Bali. So you and your 2 teammates, so 3 individuals total.
Yeah, are there any other questions? So we have one question that asks, can you give examples of previous year's proposals?
So I think something important to know is that the theme or the topic of last year's competition is very different from this year's competition. Where in last year's competition, we did not provide actual funding for the implementation of the project proposals. And so they were much broader and covered topics that had much larger budgets and were less achievable on a shorter time scale. And so I would be hesitant to provide even examples of last year's proposals, just because this year we are asking for public awareness campaigns or trainings or networking opportunities and ideas for the next generation of biosecurity workers. And so again, I would be hesitant to allow individuals to read last year's proposals, just because this year has a different theme and topic, and I wouldn't want anyone to perhaps use last year's ideas to kind of facilitate or catalyze their projects for this year.
Yeah, it might it might be a little confusing just because I think most of the winners last year were focused on actual tools or platforms that they were building. And like Catherine just said, this year is more focused on training events, networking events, etc.
Thank you, guys. So the next question is, how much detail should we go into in the proposal? So on both websites, there is an outline for the proposal that you can actually review to see. As I mentioned, there is a word limit of 2,000 words, and there are details. There's a detailed outline of each individual portion that you should cover. So I would encourage you to review the website so that you can see the template there to find the answer, how you should structure your proposal. The next question is how do you evaluate the proposals? Haley and Kathleen, do you guys want to talk a little bit about judging criteria? And I know that's something that we can definitely post later. So we didn't include it, but do you guys want to speak just a little bit about how we're planning to go about judging?
Yeah, so we just gather a coalition or board of experts in the biosecurity space. We try to be as multisectoral and multinational as possible, and then we allow those individuals to evaluate the proposals based upon both the outline that we have provided, the template that is provided on both of our websites that gives kind of a breakdown of every component that we are asking for, and as well the innovation and the ability for the project to actually be implemented. So, but we will definitely have more information coming on the actual process by which we evaluate the proposals coming soon.
Thanks. The next question, I'm working on a global health security project with multi-country collaborations, primarily looking at international health regulation compliance in member states. Would a related proposal fit into this call, as the call is focused on biosecurity?
So I would recommend for this question to focus on the biosecurity component of IHR. I think there's a way to kind of craft it so that's the primary focus, but also acknowledging that other parts of the IHR, if they're met by countries, will actually improve the ability of a particular nation or region to actually prevent accidental or intentional outbreaks, which is what the focus of this competition really is. So if you kind of frame it in that way, how your effort will, by broadening the scope a little bit, but how that will actually improve the biosecurity and biosafety capacity of a nation or region should be the focus.
Thanks. Okay, our last call. Are there any other questions? Okay, so seeing no other questions, Haley and Catherine, do you guys have any other closing words before I close out the webinar for today?
It looks like we just got one more question.
Oh, yes, I see. So how will the grant money be managed? Will the winning team have direct access to the funds, or will they be working under the supervision of NTI as the fund holder?
So NTI will be holding the funds. We will be working closely with the winning team. We want to see these project proposals put into implementation. And so with the guidance and oversight of the Nuclear Threat Initiative, we will use the funds to implement the project. Again, we want to reiterate that teams do not have to use the entire $15,000. If there are two proposals that both have budgets that are small enough to be funded within the $15,000, we are completely within our right to fund both of those projects. So we also encourage teams to be extremely creative, and if you don't need $15,000 for your project, please only put in the budget the amount of money that you would need, because extra money could go to funding a second project. But the money will be monitored and held by the Nuclear Threat Initiative.
Yeah, and we'll be providing also NTI mentoring for if, for example, your proposal includes planning an event. We have a lot of people with experience with that here, so kind of the mentoring on getting planning and implementing an event.
Another question says, can you speak to if you are also interested in biosecurity issues surrounding SynBio and not necessarily pathogens?
Absolutely. If there are any ideas that deal with the field of synthetic biology around bringing people together to talk about these emerging and complex issues from various perspectives, we are extremely eager to hear your proposals related to synthetic biology.
Okay. Trying to wait to see if there's any additional questions. Okay, so seeing no additional questions, Kathleen, Haley, do you guys have any additional comments that you would like to say before we close out?
No additional comments, really just that we are really excited to read all of the proposals, and we wish everyone the best of luck. And please know that all of the emails that we have listed on the website, on the NTI website, are really happy to answer any additional questions that anyone has regarding the competition. And we are here to be as helpful as possible throughout this process.
Yeah, just to add that NTI, the involvement of the next generation in the field of biosecurity is a critical part of our portfolio. We think it'll improve the sustainability of global biosecurity capabilities going forward. So we do really look forward to your innovative proposals, and good luck to everyone.
Thank you. So there's just one last question before I close everything out, and it says, can you make more than one proposal?
We would prefer that everyone is just a part of one team and that everyone puts their focus into one project.
Okay. All right, so I would like to close and just echoing Haley and Kathleen's sentiment, and that we're definitely excited about this year's competition and looking forward to receiving and reading all of the proposals. If you do have any additional questions, please feel free to reach out to the nti-bio@nti.org email address. If you are interested in joining the next generation and finding out more about the competition, you can visit the websites that are posted on this screen. And good luck, everyone. And I look forward to getting your proposals, and also look forward to continuing to work with you to strengthen the biosecurity aspects of GHSA. Thank you all.